Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at ArtBell.com. Are you ready to witness something that you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize you're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find the trail that comes from.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. You are now listening to Paranormal Central, coming to you live from Fresno, California, right in the middle of Central California, what we call Spook City, I guess, huh? To my right is co-host Alan Thomas.
Good evening.
And we are not broadcasting on live stream tonight. We are having computer problems. So if you want to, well, obviously, if you have to be listening to us on artbell.com right now, if you're watching on live stream, you're freaking out. So we are going to be sending everything over to the artbell.com website on the Dark Matter Network. All the pictures are over there, so you can go ahead and view them as we speak to our reporters out in the field. And that's it. So live stream is down tonight, and we're going to be, like I said, just everything is going over to artbell.com. So you're not going to be missing anything on live stream. You already know what we look like, so it doesn't matter. So just go over to artbell.com, tune in there. All the pictures are there on the homepage. There are two, I believe, links. There are the Squatch report and the UFO sightings that we're going to be talking about. So right now, we are going to be talking to Ken. Ken, are you there, buddy? Ken.
Hello.
Hey, Ken, how's it going?
Hi, Ken.
Hey, Jeff. Hi. How you doing, pal?
Good, man. Hey, what happened last week?
Oh, good. Don't ask. I wrenched my back putting the beer coolers in my Dodge Nitro, and I wound up watching the show at home. So it was crazy. Well, the good news is I got $1,500 for my ticket, so I can be happy about that, I guess.
Wow. So you can.
Yeah, it
wow.
was, I'm kind of glad I was able to stay home and watch it because it was, I don't know, it wasn't the best game.
Right, exactly.
It's a shame, but, you know.
Exactly. So, okay, well, that's cool. All right, right now, like I was telling everybody just a couple seconds ago, we're not broadcasting on live stream tonight, so everything is at the artbell.com website. So all your pictures are up over there. So,
okay.
As a matter of fact, we have the computers on the right-hand side of me, and Alan's looking at it right now. So right now, we can go to picture number 1 and go for it, Ken.
Okay, yeah, that was just an incredible shot. There's 2 photos attached to this case file. This was February 2nd, 2014. It was just last week. And I believe it's pronounced Isla Mirada, Florida. We vacationed there about 2 or 3 years ago, and it's just a gorgeous place on the Keys. And this is a MUFON case file. Happened around 8 p.m., and a short statement from the witnesses. From my balcony, I witnessed this pulsating blue-green object hovering, rising slightly, and finally moving from southeast to the northeast over the Atlantic Ocean. I was able to capture a few images of the object, and it traveled without sound and split into 2 distinct objects before moving to too far away to photograph any longer. So I believe he may be talking about photograph number 1 right there. And photograph number 2, that's the green object there. It's pretty strange looking. His statement is the color changed from shades of purple to blue-green and white. The outer area was emitting a glow that grew and shrank during its movement. The timing of the pulsating was not fixed, more of a random pattern. This is very similar to an object I saw last year in the same area, only that sighting was over the Gulf of Mexico instead of the Atlantic. So apparently he was looking out over the Atlantic when he saw this strange craft, and it's a great shot, really is.
Right on. Yeah, looks pretty cool. All right, number 3.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool too. This is January 23rd, 2009, from Kapospar, Hungary. I believe that's how you pronounce it. This is also a MUFON case file. His statement is, I live in Hungary. I was on the terrace around 11 a.m. when I noticed this slowly flying, noiseless, dark brown disc-shaped object. I caught my mobile phone. It had a Samsung SGHE 250, and I did a photo, and I did take a photo of the object. The diameter of the object was approximately 30 to 40 feet in diameter, and as he says, this picture was taken in Hungary. So I thought this was a pretty cool. I'm trying to get some up close shots for you guys, so your people can see them. So it's no sense in having a photo of a dot on a picture. I'm trying to get some better shots for you guys.
Right on. Awesome. Appreciate that. Okay, next.
Okay, that's photo number 4. Again, this is an example. There's tons of people out there that apparently have some pretty good equipment, and there's a lot of stargazers and astro astronomers and photographers, and they're taking these photos of these high flying objects, and I think this is one of them. This was August 20th, 2013, from Hampton, Virginia, around 8:30 p.m. This is the MUFON case file again. And his brief statement is, I was outside taking pictures of this month's full moon with my new Samsung 16 megapixel camera. It sounds like a commercial. After downloading the picture to my computer, I noticed a contrail next to the moon. After zooming in to see the type of aircraft it was, I was surprised to see there were actually 3 contrails merging into one. I found it strange, and I could not see the aircraft, but that was making a contrail. So I have taken many pictures of high altitude aircraft, and even with my old 5 megapixel camera, I could zoom in to see the type aircraft. More surprising, I could see there were round objects following behind in the contrail. One of the objects stayed with the flight until the last picture. The objects may have been illuminated by the sun, as it was around 8:30 p.m. and the sun had just set. You can see the cloud formation in the sky. The cloud formation in the sky does not change in the different pictures, but the objects stay in the same place in the contrail. I'm 65 years old and have lived my entire life near a large Air Force base. So I spend a lot of time looking up, as we all do. I would judge these objects to be in a 35 to 40,000 foot of altitude range. The other strange thing, the speeds seem to be so much faster than other aircraft I have recorded at that altitude. So I was, I don't know what to make of that picture.
Now we're looking at number 4, right, Ken?
Yeah, it's number 4.
Okay, is it because you took the photograph, the object is moving at a high rate of speed, and you're just getting I don't know. Is that, are those objects long wise? If they're that, I don't know what to make of this, because I can't take it. I don't know if it's the picture that's making these, lengthways. You know what I'm saying? I can't figure that out.
What I've done is, of course, a lot of these photos I have to crop and enlarge, and I cropped a lot out of this photo in order to enhance the objects that are circled in orange. But there's a very, very long contrail, and at the end of this contrail, there's an object that is. I think there's an object there, but it's unrecognizable.
Right.
So
Wow.
This was a real strange one.
That
I
is,
wasn't.
yeah. I can't make that picture out and see.
Right there.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That's weird. That's very cool though. I like that. That's an awesome picture.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
Awesome. All right, let's go 5.
Okay, yeah, like a 5A and 5B. I might get in trouble for this one, but
Uh-oh. Why is that?
You know, I don't care. These are 2 photos here. They are from MUFON, and as a matter of fact, looking at the photos, I had to basically crop these and enlarge these. But these objects they're far up, and you know they're at least 200 or 300 feet in the air, and I had to enlarge them to like I said before, so we can see what they are. Also, 5B, that's another. That object must be 300 feet in the air. It looks like it isn't, but that object's about 300 feet away for the witness. And his statement is, this was on April 13th, 2011 in Lexington, Kentucky, MUFON case file. And I was out in my backyard in Lexington when I happened to look up toward the southeast, and a white flash caught my eye. Could not tell what it was, but it was white in color and what looked to be flashing. I then noticed off to its left a second object of similar size and activity to the right of it. I observed this for a couple of minutes while I had one of my sons grab my camera. Within about a minute or so, the 2 objects got closer together and were side by side, both still flashing whites, possibly a tumbling motion. My son, not finding my camera, forced me to go into the house and get it. Figuring on the speed they were moving, they would be in front of the house when I got back outside. But I went out front only to find one of the objects more to the east now. I snapped a few photos before I lost sight of it behind the trees about a half mile away. So the thing that kind of upsets me about this case file and these photos are one of our past directors apparently investigated this case, and after talking to the witness, and the witness, telling him that this apparently the same thing that's in the statement here, our investigator felt that these were IFOs, possibly paper plates or maybe frisbees or something like that. So this case has been put into the identified flying object file. So that's where it is right now.
Now, why did you say you might get in trouble because of what you just said right now?
Well, I don't want to. Well, I'm basically saying that. I am saying that MUFON, I think
they drop the ball a lot of times.
Done a better job
right.
in investigating this case. The reason why is the photos are so good and so detailed. I mean, if you're going to do an investigation on a case, I mean, this is a prime case here to really, get your claws into and make sure you're, crossing all your T's and dotting your I's. And
right.
And this was the MUFON director, a past MUFON director. He has his name on this as being the investigator, and quite frankly, I don't know what to make of what he was thinking.
Well, yeah, and when you're investigating and you're talking to the witness, and if the witness says the object was in the sky for about, let's say 50 seconds in one spot or a minute in one spot and then moved to the east and stayed there, how can you say that's a frisbee? All right, for one thing, that debunks that right out of the ballpark. Now, a paper plate, okay. If you're going to have a paper plate up there like that, then you're going to have one of those wind tunnel, tornado thingies that are going off, and that's the only way a paper plate's going to be 300 feet up in the air.
Exactly.
That doesn't look like a paper plate. Well, in a way it does, but still, I think the person, giving the interview here or the witness, I think he knows what a paper plate looks like, and I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have made a big deal about a paper plate.
Well, it's crazy because the photo itself is like I said, deceiving because I had to crop it. But these objects must be between 200 and 300 feet in the sky. So I don't see anybody could ever throw a frisbee that high in the sky. But
Yeah.
this is what kind of scares me about MUFON. I just don't know what to think about it anymore.
Right. And, well, I'm going to tell you right now, that's one of the reasons why I left.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, right on. All right, Ken. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on and giving your 2 cents and giving us the best sightings that are out there. For all those who don't know, Ken is with MUFON, and he has a website at, what is it, World?
It's worldufophotos.org. That's my photo. I have over 6,000 photos on that website.
Sweet.
And my other article website is worldufophotosannews.org.
Okay.
And just to throw something out there, I am also going to be doing some book reviews, and anyone who would want me to do a book review, they can contact me at my email address, falcon51@comcast.net, and we can talk it over, and I already have some people interested, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Cool deal. And for all those, the links are on paranormalcentral.net website. You can go and click on the links and go to and watch and look at just thousands and thousands of cool photographs that he has on his website. A lot of these will blow you away, and you can't debunk a lot of these. No way. So, all right, Ken, I appreciate you giving us the info and doing the work that no one else wants to do, and giving your opinion. And I appreciate that.
Okay, Alan and Jeff, I appreciate it, and you guys have a good day.
Okay, we'll talk to you next week. Take care.
Good
See ya.
night,
Okay,
Ken.
thanks.
That's some pretty good looking pictures.
Yeah, I mean,
he
that's
put some good ones.
and that's why and for all those who don't know, I used to be an investigator for MUFON for a couple of years. I was the state section director for the Central California, I don't know, what to say about MUFON. Let's just say I left because that reason. I was doing my job. I was actually going out and I was talking to these witnesses, and I was really getting in and talking to them and getting, the dirt, and MUFON was basically saying I was doing too much, and they were telling me to knock it off, and when I started the show a long time ago, they said, sorry, Jeff, but we're not going to allow you to talk about MUFON or show any of the pictures or videos on your show. And I went, really? And they said, yeah. So I said, see ya, I'm gone. And that was the end of that. So let's hope Ken can continue doing what he's doing without getting in trouble. So we'll see what happens. So, all right, we have Danny with the Squatch Report. Danny, are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
All right, Mr.
Good evening,
Squatchy.
Danny.
Mr. Squatchy. All right, Danny Valderrama is our Bigfoot freak. And he loves Bigfoot. He eats Bigfoot. He sleeps Bigfoot. He does everything Bigfoot. He does something else to Bigfoot, but I don't want to tell you what he does with Bigfoot. But he has some cool stuff to tell us about tonight. And again, those photographs are on the artbell.com website right now. We are not broadcasting live stream because our main system just took a dump. Gotta love it. So, all right, what are we looking at, Danny? And what picture we want to start on first?
Number one, the first story I have doesn't have a picture.
Okay.
It's just the report from Ohio about the kid that wrecked his vehicle, and he's claiming that he crashed because he was avoiding Bigfoot that ran across the road. He's a 17-year-old boy from Columbiana Township in Ohio, and the police, of course, didn't believe him because the teen has made similar claims in the past.
Now, why didn't I think of that when I got in my first car accident? Dad, it was 10 feet long, and it took 2 steps across the street in Sanger, and it was gone. I swear.
They're starting to blame him for everything.
And then he took out the belt and went, whee! Yeah, right, Bigfoot in my ass. So, okay, that's awesome.
He's in trouble. He didn't buy it. He's in trouble.
So, what's that?
The second story I have it does have a picture. It's people who are dealing with all the snow back east. And this one person went out in their front yard and made a Bigfoot out of the snow. Instead of a snowman, they made Bigfoot.
That's cool. That's cool. I like it. I like it.
Falls, Ohio. So
that's
you guys
sweet.
go out there and make a snowman, make a Bigfoot instead, and send your picture to Jeffrey.
That's right, man. Send me the big. Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. We have a lot of people, obviously. Oh my God! You know what?
Give him a prize or something.
You know what? I like it. Let's go. Okay, I am making right now call out to all of our listeners who are stuck at home, who can't go out, drive to work, and can't go to school. Get your behind outside and make a killer Bigfoot statue out of snow. I don't care what type it is. If it's, just go out, use your imagination, be creative, and put them on my Facebook wall. Right now, I'm making a call out. And if I see one that just blows my mind and think it's real cool, well, I will give you a prize next Sunday. All right, guys? So I'm making a call out right now. Let's go. Put them on my Facebook wall. And you know what? In case I missed them, send me a picture. If you do make one, send me a picture, Facebook message over to me. And then that way I won't miss it if you put it on my wall, because, my news feed goes really quick because a lot of people place a lot of stuff on there all the time. Or if not, send it to sangerparanormal@aol.com. So you got two ways of sending it to me, Facebook or my email. And I'm making a call out right now. I want some cool Bigfoot snowmans made. And you know what? Get a poster board or something and write Paranormal Central and put it right in front and take a photograph. That's what I want. All right, making a call out. Cool, Danny. Great idea, dude. Thanks.
Cool. All right. Third story I got is from the Finding Bigfoot crew. They went to Walla Walla, Washington, and they got stuck in this huge storm that's going through because of the Pineapple Express. It's going through Oregon and sitting up a little bit. But they've been getting like 6 inches of snow a day, and they were coming down the Columbia River Gorge. And there was a caravan. They were coming back from filming. They were headed to Eugene, Oregon on their way back. And they're going to go to Humboldt County next. But they're going to stop in Eugene, Oregon. So there's a caravan of 6 cars, and Bobo was driving in the last car down there. And they were going about 65 in the snow. He thought they were kind of going fast, but he was trying to keep up with everybody. He didn't want to get lost. So he was driving down there going about 65, and his car started to spin. And he was spinning, and there was a big rig behind him. Big rig went from the slow lane to the fast lane to try to avoid him, and Bobo's car pickup truck did a 360. When the big rig passed him, his tailgate clipped the back of the big rig, and he spun the other way, 360. So he did 2 360s. He tried to get control of the car. It kept spinning. He hit a guardrail. Luckily, there was a guardrail where he was. There's only about 100 yards of guardrail there. He slammed the front of his car into the guardrail and then hit a snow embankment. Luckily, he didn't get too seriously hurt or damage the car, so you could see the rest of the traffic coming. He backed out back and got back in the freeway there and kept going.
Wow.
Crazy.
Man, stuntman Bobo. That's when
when he got to Oregon, he on his way, still trying to get to Portland to get on the other freeway on I-5. He saw they came upon an accident right after he had his, and he saw a woman that was deceased.
Ooh.
They did the same thing he did, except their car didn't hit a guardrail. There was no guardrail there, so they slammed into trees.
Wow.
600 accidents in Oregon yesterday, and only one fatality, the one that Bubba saw.
You mean 600? You say 600?
600 accidents.
Holy smokes.
Over the weekend, and with the snowstorm that's going crazy, plus another 900 calls for help because people were stuck.
Are stuck, huh? Isn't your daughter in Oregon?
She is, yep. She was stuck in it too. I talked to her. She was stuck. She called some friends. She called the Coast Guard to come and help her.
Uh-huh.
And they did. They got her out of the snow. They gave her a push from behind with the four-wheel drive and got her back to her house.
For all those who don't know, Danny's daughter is in the Coast Guard in Oregon. So, that's kind of a cool thing. She's going to be safe and can get help anytime because, hey, she just has to make a phone call and all of her comrades are going to come running.
Yep.
That's awesome. They did.
They usually have snow there, but not this much. It's been about 6 inches a day.
So what they do, send 3 choppers and a couple of tanks. And
yep, they use everything.
That's cool.
So Bobo finally made it back to Highway 5. And from Portland, they were trying to get to Salem. It usually takes about a half an hour, 45 minutes. The freeway was going so slow that it took him 5 hours to cover that distance.
Whoa.
And he spun out again.
Oh.
He's only going about 45. He spun out again. He said the other 5 cars were going to take a back road. Bobo said, I'm done. I'm parking right here in Salem. spending the night there.
Jeez.
He's
What,
smart.
The other guy,
That-
I think, took another 5 hours to get to Eugene.
That's smart.
As far as I know, he's still in Salem.
Wow.
Crazy.
When I
But
lived
the
in
big news
Oregon,
from finding Bigfoot is I'm hearing from the talk on the internet that this is going to be their last season.
oh wow,
Really?
Because they're talking about a series finale, not a season finale. So
Sick.
it might end in Bluff Creek,
Oh.
is what I'm hearing.
So,
Wow.
so,
Everything
so,
they
so
can do.
you're right. So, not really the last episode they can find Bigfoot, right? You know what? They could find Bigfoot on the last episode.
they supposedly have enough experience. You know,
You know, why not? I mean, I would find damn
Yeah.
Bigfoot, guys. Come on, seriously. Let the last episode make it 20 million viewers. We found something that's going to blow everybody out of the water. Last episode, go out in a big bang.
that'll be good.
You know what I'm saying? Boom.
Yeah.
All right, and then they'll
They're
come.
heading to another big snowstorm out there.
And then they'll
so-
come over to Paranormal Central, and they'll be our Bigfoot investigators with you.
Yeah.
All they got to do is make
I'll
it
be
out
out
of the
to go
snow.
too.
Huh?
All right, man. I'm looking at some footprints here. What the heck are these?
Yep. These are coming from North Carolina.
Wow, North
This
Carolina.
Dude, that's just a guy wearing no shoes out in the snow.
Yeah. It's a homeless guy.
You're getting there, Danny. You're getting there, dude. A homeless man with no shoes.
This comes from Bobby Woods out in North Carolina. He won't tell anybody where it is because he wants his team to be out the first ones to find this creature. And it looks like they're getting pretty close. They found the prints that I sent to you. There's a huge trackway that goes on for about a mile. That they followed it. They followed it for a mile, and it ended at a river. So they think it swam across the river.
In the
Of
freaking
course,
snow.
They couldn't get across the river to verify that. But
That is.
not only did they find footprints, they found an 11-inch handprint.
And I'm looking at that too, dude. That is an awesome freaking handprint.
Extra long thumb there, set lower
god!
than normal.
That's obvious. You can tell what that is. That just, come on. That is very cool.
Pretty nice.
That is very cool.
He's been casting footprints. The footprints were 14 inches in the snow. So he's been casting footprints that go into the same area. He has about 3 sites that he goes to in this area. And he has videos of howls, video of wood knocks. He sets up a camera away from camp, pointing at the forest. So when they do their calls, you can hear the calls better from the camera that's out there in the forest.
Right. That's cool. That's a cool idea.
But he's doing that. He's got plenty of casts. He's got deer kills that are all around that area. He's finding just remains of deer all over the place.
See,
And he set up a gift tree too, which is something we need to have instead of scattering our stuff around.
we need to.
We need to have a designated area.
Yes, and we need to. And maybe put it up in a tree. Now, since I can climb a tree, we can build a platform. About 15 feet
all
up.
He had was oranges.
Uh-huh.
So he had a bag. He left some oranges tied to a tree. When he came back in the morning, he had the skull, the picture of the skull that I found that I sent you.
Right, there it is.
With a feather stuck in it.
Oh, see, and for those who don't know what that means, that is pretty much a Bigfoot Sasquatch saying thank you. It's an offering for you giving them whatever food. A lot of times they will give you something in return. It could be something very simple, a feather, a flower, a leaf. And in this case, it's looked like a deer's head. No. Look at the teeth on that.
You can't really tell size, and he's been getting a lot of different things. It could be like a baby bear, wolf, or because it has canines.
Yes, I do see that now.
Awesome, or something like that.
Right.
But he's having somebody look at it.
That is awesome. Wow, that's very cool.
So,
Yeah,
he's
and
been having a lot of good evidence out there, and he's been updating. He's on the Bigfoot Believers Only Facebook group, and he's been updating a lot. And he looks like he's getting pretty close. He says that when he followed it to the river, he pretty much knows where it was headed. He didn't say, but
Okay. Well,
I'd be the first person.
I just thought of a way how we can leave an offering, depending on how high. And I'm not going to say anything. I'll talk about it with you guys. But I have an idea. Okay. Cool. All right. This is very cool.
Yeah, we could even leave Alan.
Maybe I'll bring a cane and leave him a cane.
Dude, this is Well, I think you know what? Winter is going to be done here pretty soon.
It doesn't normally snow where that guy's at. That's south, real south.
Where was he at again?
That's like right. He's been having a lot of luck in the winter because it's easier to follow.
Right.
Because usually that's up like right above Florida.
So
it doesn't snow that much.
No, it doesn't. You know what? We need to get back up to our spot because the camera that I just posted right there at the entrance with all that food. Mm-hmm. We got to go. We got to go get that puppy and maybe even walk down. And there's probably going to be a little bit of snow. You never know, man. We can find some tracks. So we need to get our butts up there. So all right, man. Is that it for the Squatch Report? Thank you very much, Danny, and we'll talk to you next Sunday. Okay.
Okay. We'll see you.
Man, have a good week, Danny.
See ya.
All right. See you, Alan.
Bye. All right, that was Danny on the Squatch Report.
Those are some good pictures too.
Yeah. See,
really good.
People.
If none of you guys went and looked, I suggest you go look.
Artbell.com. There's some great pictures there. Danny just sent us, and I still run into people, and there are going to be people all over the place that still don't believe in Bigfoot and all the stuff we talk about. But look at what we are bringing to you guys. These footprints. These are not regular human footprints. If you would put your foot in there, it would probably be half the size and width. Okay? I mean, these things are double or probably even triple the width of your foot. All right? They might be 12 inches to 13 inches, and a lot of people are going, well, that could be anybody. But you're not – what they ought to do is measure the width as well, because that would right there blow people away.
Yeah, it's bigger than your boot.
Yes, the width is probably a size and a half width of the boot. So, people's feet are not that big. Simple as that. And they should start measuring, the width and the length. And that way people would understand that a human foot is not that size. So that's a bummer. So, okay, well, hopefully they will start doing that. So, all right. We are going to talk about a lot of stuff here. For one thing, you know what? We'll talk about the tickets at the very end of the show. So, for all those who are in the Central Valley of California and who get the Fresno Bee, we just get the Sunday paper because during the week we work and we don't have time to get up in the morning and then to read the everyday paper at the Fresno Bee. But we do get Sundays, and on the front page of the Spotlight, there is a very cool article on somebody very special. The class of Sanger High puts Hollywood writer on the path to The Walking Dead. We have a Sanger High graduate who is now writing for The Walking Dead. Well, I spoke to him this morning, and he's going to come on the show. Cool. Yeah, I asked him to come on tonight, but he says, "Oh, dude," he goes, "I have to write something for The Walking Dead. It has to be turned in by 10 o'clock tonight, and and I can't." She goes, "But I will do it some other time. Trust me." And he was blown away that dude saying the Paranormal Society, really? And he was freaking out, So he goes, "Yeah." So he's going to come on the show via telephone, but I know he has family here. I'm going to see if he can come down here on March 9th for the video, for the filming of the episodes.
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to see if we can make that happen. So I expect him to be on our show here within the next week or so, an actual writer for The Walking Dead. Obviously, he won't give us what he's writing about. He can do that, but he's a graduate from Sanger High School, the same high school I went to. Wow. Graduated in 94. I graduated in 84, so that tells you how old I am. But he's been around. He's been doing some his name, I want to tell you his name. His name is, I can't, let me put my glasses on. Sorry, guys. I mean, this is like, we just barely found out about him about 6 hours ago. And then he actually texted me back. And oh my God, I had his name. Matt Negretti. Okay. But we have somebody in Sanger who's actually doing some cool stuff on TV, and that's from The Walking Dead. So you really can't beat that, man. He's doing some good stuff, and hopefully he'll continue to climb the ladder. And but we're going to get him on the air and talk about The Walking Dead and talk about other stuff he's been writing about and producing and stuff like that. So I can't wait for that. All right. I wrote a bunch of stuff down. I want to talk about the Olympics really quick. Well, probably not really quick. Probably for a while. Who saw the opening ceremonies? I did. I actually heard about them prior to watching them because people were talking about that on radio shows everywhere about, the opening ceremonies. Now, what is so big about the opening ceremonies? Well, something happened that, and again, people are going to say, well, it was just a coincidence or it was an accident. It was just one of those things. Well, I don't think this was an accident. I think it was meant to be. I think it was a setup for all those who know of the Olympic logo. It's the 5 circles, right? You have 3 on top and then 3 on 2 on the bottom, and they are different colors. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what those colors are. All those, the color of the rings represent something. For example, the black ring means it's representing the continent of Europe. The blue is representing the oceans in Australia. Yellow, this is kind of funny about this one. Yellow, Asia.
Oh, that's mean.
But that's what it is. That's what it represents. Green is Africa. And guess what? The last circle that did not turn on was red, was America. Mm-hmm. Okay? If you guys don't know, but when they illuminated the 5 circles, they went and started from left to right. Well, the last one on the right didn't come on, and it didn't open up. And that was the color red, which represents America, North and South America. So right away, when I saw that, I went, oh, man, that was done on purpose. I know that was done on purpose. The media was saying, oops, someone's going to get in trouble. I mean, oops, that was just a mistake, embarrassing. Good Morning America said, oops, that's embarrassing. I think it's going way above that. I think it was meant to basically say, to America. I think it did. I think because it was Russia. I mean, we're having the Olympics in Russia, guys. I don't think this was an accident. I really don't. So,
Interesting.
So, I mean, take that as you will, and, you guys can say, you know what, Jeff, you're making just a big thing about it, but you guys have to understand that sometimes these things are right in your face, and you just have to open your eyes and really look at it for what it is. And I think this was a slap at America just because we are America, because we're the freest country in the world. And
for how long?
Well, and I think Putin was basically rubbing it in, because I feel that that's what my feeling is. For all those out there who think I'm smoking the crack, oh well, but I really think that's the case on this. So, all right, and I just found out that President Obama is coming to Fresno this Friday. Okay. From what I understand, they're going to have 2 black trucks parked out in front of my house, and I can't leave the front door.
Okay.
So Obama is spending Valentine's Day in Fresno. Okay, and he's coming in. He's flying in on Air Force One this Friday, and I'm going to be out there waving my hand. Hey, yeah, right. I don't think they're going to be watching me. Why would they watch me? It's like I don't have anything against Obama. I'm talking about conspiracy theories and Bigfoot and UFOs. Why would they even care? I'm pretty sure that they don't think I'm going to do anything, which I'm not. Okay, you guys, really? But I'm going to keep my eyes open. I swear I am. And for those guys who are listening right now, who are monitoring me, and you know who you are, I'm going to have my video camera in hand, my iPhone in my pocket, and if I see one of you guys following me or staking me out wherever I may be on that Friday, because I work for AT&T, so I'm going to be driving around, and they have watched me a couple of times. I've seen them park behind me in some instances, and they follow me because of my iPhone. I have the GPS. It's obvious what they do. So I know they're going to be following me. Trust me. I hope to God I can get one of you guys on film because I am going to embarrass the hell out of you.
Why is he here? Like, did he say?
It's for the drought. It's for the drought. Yeah.
Fresno?
Yeah.
Like, seriously?
The drought. Yeah. He's coming down because of the drought.
Is he going to make a speech about it?
Yep. And I don't know where it's going to be at, but he's flying into Fresno. So right now, as we speak, I guarantee you the Fresno airport is swarmed with Secret Service. They're probably already.
Oh yeah, they are.
They're locating where they're going to put the snipers, where roads that they're going to close, where they're going. I have no idea where he's going to speak. I'm thinking probably at the convention center downtown. It's probably the only place I can think that he's going to be setting up.
I think he'll be out somewhere where a farm.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that makes more sense.
He'll be out where there's they can
dirt.
Yeah, talk about the no water. Do you think he's going to be for the fish or the people?
Fish.
Hopefully the people, but yeah, it looks like he's going for the stupid little fish.
Yeah. So it would make sense. So he'll probably be out in the farm, and they're not going to say what farm.
Oh no,
no,
there'll be a big one like Harris Ranch or something.
Yeah, and it'll be at the spur of the moment because they're not going to tell anybody because obviously they don't want people, bombarding the area.
It's Fresno.
Yeah. So okay. So anyway, this Friday for all those who are in the central San Joaquin Valley, you'll see Air Force One and just about every single service, FBI, CIA, DIA, DEA, DOD.
Yeah, we'll have to get the schedule so we can videotape it landing. Coming in.
Yes, I'm going to try to do that. I will try to. Cool. I will try to get Air Force One coming into the Fresno airport, and we shall see what happens on Friday. So again, I don't know what time he's flying in.
We probably won't even tell.
No, no.
But we know the day, so I could sit there all day long.
You know what?
It might be really, really early in the morning.
Could.
They will not let you. I remember the last time whatever president came in on the west side on Chestnut Avenue where everybody parks it. They're not going to allow anybody to park. They will pretty much have all those streets around the airport completely vacant. That's what they usually do.
Wow.
Because of, sniper activity and stuff like that. They don't want, the president coming down off the plane and anybody taking a pop shot at him. So I remember too, I think I was working on a B box, which is one of our main boxes that carry a lot of phone lines on the west side. And a police officer said, no, you have to leave. I'm saying, really? I said, yeah, okay. Then, this customer is not getting service today. And he didn't care. I had to go. And I don't think the president was in town. I think it was like the vice president. So imagine, the president is going to be tight, big time tight. So, okay, so that's this Friday. So for all those who don't work and who have nothing to do, let's try to get the best footage of the president on this Friday. And let's put it on my wall and we'll show it on Sunday. And hey, why not? So I'm making a call out again to all of our fans in Fresno, California. See if you can get Air Force One flying into Fresno and see if you can get his caravan driving wherever it may be. If you know any secrets like where he's going to be speaking, you can always text me with that and let me know. Shh, I won't tell anybody. All right. So that is President Obama coming this Friday. Let's talk about...
I'll be out there.
I'll give you my video camera. Oh, you have one?
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Okay, cool.
I'll be ready.
Okay, cool. You're going to be followed. I swear you are. Because you're part of this, dude.
Well, I'll give him something to watch, and I'll just open the sunroof on the car and just stand out there with the camera.
They're going to be surrounding your ass so fast, dude. And the cane is going to think a cane is a rifle. Oh my God, dude. They're going to throw you on the floor and mess you up.
I'll keep that down.
Jeff, come and bail me out. Hell no, I'm going to come videotape your ass in jail. All right. Let's talk about, and Rick has been placing this on the Facebook wall quite a bit. There are a lot of bankers showing up dead.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys heard about that?
Somewhere we're in the 8 now or something.
Are we in the 8? Right? Okay.
It's ridiculous.
I wrote down.
Scary.
So far, I've heard about 5. And yes, it's getting up there.
Last I heard it was about 7. Yeah,
about 7? Okay. I wrote down, and you guys are probably going, okay, bankers. What do you mean by bankers? Well, for example, they're high on the ladder. Like, for example, this one from J.P. Morgan Chase. This gentleman here was found dead in his home, I believe. And they said it was suicide. There's another one, manager for, did I say J.P. Morgan already? Yeah. Chase, this is for Chase. He actually jumped off a building.
What?
All right. Now, obviously, there's nothing right now going on that I can see. Actually, the Japan stock exchange actually fell very, very deep, like minus 600 points, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been going up and down, going up and down. But these, bankers from all over are actually, finding dead. There was one who was hanging in a rope in his home. Obviously, they said, well, that was suicide. The latest one that I find really interesting was they found another one dead. This one was shot in the head 8 times with a nail gun. All right.
That wasn't suicide.
No.
They said that was suicide.
Really?
Wait, you should.
Now, I saw a picture, and I don't know if they released this or not. I'm thinking this is probably fabricated photograph, but they showed the nails in the back of the head. 8 nails in the back of the head. Regardless of that picture is true or false, the guy who is a high-ranking banker was found dead and shot in the head with a nail gun 8 times. All right? So let's think about this. If I'm going to commit suicide with a nail gun, I'm going to put the nail gun right here to my temple, and I'm going to pull the trigger, or I'll probably put it between my eye and pull the trigger 1 time. Now, once I pull that trigger, I'm probably going to drop the nail gun, scream in agony pain. How in the hell am I going to pull that trigger 8 times? Follow me?
Do they have automatic nail guns?
Well, the way this works is the nail gun, if I had a nail gun right now, Emerald, and if I pointed at you, it would not fire. Because on the front of the gun, there's a little lever. The pressure, yeah. So as soon as you put pressure on it, then it allows it to shoot. So you have to literally press it against your head, relieving that lever, then you'll be able to shoot the gun.
See, the most I would see, he'd get maybe like 1 or 2
2 or
shots.
3 at the tops.
That's it.
But how can you put 8 in your head?
Especially in the back of your head.
Okay, and if that's what they're saying, 8 in the back of the head. I mean, and they're saying, oh, this guy committed suicide. Really?
But you know how many people believe that?
Yeah, well, see,
everybody,
because the media said it was suicide. Well, then, gosh dang it, it was suicide.
Why not?
We'll
call it suicide too.
That just ticks me off.
It's suicide to say it wasn't suicide.
And I just don't understand that. You people out there really need to stop listening what comes over the wire on your television and research it first. All right? Because you guys are going to be the last ones when the SHIT hits a fan. You guys are not going to know what is going on. You guys are going to watch the media. They're going to tell you to do something. You guys are going to do it. And who knows what's going to happen. You guys really need to pay attention now. All right? Because there are things going on in this world that it's going to freak you out once you find out the truth. Because there is stuff happening right now, man. And I'm telling you, these are not coincidences. Stuff are happening. Don't think the government is. And again, I'm not trying to get in trouble because right now Obama's coming on Friday. So if I keep talking like this, they're really going to be at my front door. I just say you guys need to really open up your eyes. All right. These bankers, now 8, committed suicide. No, there's something else going on. I tell you right now. And it involves the economy.
Well, it says 4 prominent bankers found dead within 6 days. Okay. All ruled suicide.
See, that's too much of a coincidence.
In 6 days, guys.
Yeah. A week and not even.
No, not even close. There's a reason why these people are dying. No, there is a reason. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do right now is I am going to get on my Facebook. I'm I'm reading on my Facebook messaging about, the banks, the people who are involved with the banking. Rick is saying right around December the 12th or 13th, a system analysis from Russia jumps off a building 50 stories.
Yeah, see, I think it's only
Because the debt ceiling-
four American bankers.
Okay,
But
and
there's some in other countries too. The world bankers, they're like the top. These guys are like this guy right here. The last one in America was the chief economist. So he's not like the bank president of a local bank. This guy's the chief economist of the United States.
Obviously, they know something, or they found out something, and they were probably inquiring about it, and that was into that.
They say he could have jumped over a fence and fallen 15 meters to his death. He jumped. He could have, but he was 15 meters down, and he could have jumped over the fence and committed suicide.
Right.
How many chief economists do you know even climb fences?
Now, this comes around the same time, and we talked about this last week, that there are a couple of banks that are not allowing you to withdraw your money.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So, and then all of a sudden, the Japan Stock Exchange dropped down 600. We're doing the same. Now, somebody placed up on Facebook where they went to when the stock market crashed in, was it 1929, I think? And he placed a graph on how it all started and where it ended. And then he went towards our stock market and looked at the past couple of weeks or months and noticed that the graph is exactly the same as it was in 1929 and where it's going right now. Okay. And so I placed that on my wall, and then people said, well, you know what? They have rules and laws now, so it'll never happen again. I'm going, there you go again.
Well, they want to make what everybody doesn't realize, and they've been trying this for a long time. They want a one world government.
Oh, yeah.
One world economy.
Right. One world money.
They can't have the one world government UN thing until they have a one world money. And they've been trying to do the money thing for a long time. And it looks like they might. They have to make everything crash. So you'll see other countries crashing.
With us.
And I can't remember which one it is, like Italy or some of those ones over there are all rioting in the street right now because their economy is so bad. I know Greece was for a few months there.
Right. I remember that. But you don't hear about that in the media either.
No, you don't.
No, because they're making sure that you guys don't know what's going on in their economy, because when our economy starts doing the same thing, you guys won't put two and two together and figure it out. So,
well, it's already going to be like everybody should be prepared.
We're already in trouble.
Oh, yeah. I mean, from the drought that we have,
deep in it.
We're going to be really in trouble. I mean, all the prices in the store are going to be like skyrocket this summer.
$5 for an orange?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I heard milk is going to go way high.
Yeah.
I drink almond milk, so.
Yeah, and you're right, because in order to feed the cows, you need water to make the hay or to feed. And if you don't have that, then, they have to get that someplace, which is going to cost them an arm and a leg to feed their cows.
Going up the price of beef because of it.
Yeah.
Milk,
Everything.
produce.
And it all starts with water.
Yeah.
So how do we, make the economy crash? Well, take away the water. Now, what's funny, though, is that California, is lacking water, but everywhere else, they got all kinds of water, which stinks. That just blows me away. I don't get that.
To me, it seems, everybody will think I'm a wacko now.
You're a wacko, so you fit, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. And I don't care. They can think what they want. But all summer long on my Facebook, and I think your Facebook too, and even us included, we're noticing these chemtrails.
Mm-hmm.
They were, it would be like a very clear morning, beautiful. The sun came up by 11 o'clock. It would be overcast, and it wasn't overcast.
Mm-hmm.
It was chemtrails. And I think they were seeding it. Like normally, if they wanted to flood us, they would be out over the ocean doing it, and then it would come in over us and flood us, right?
Right.
But they're doing it over us, and then as it moves east past us, it's dumping over there.
Yes.
All my friends in Tennessee, all summer long, this last summer, they want to swim in their pool, and it rained and rained and rained, and it was raining like crazy over there in the Midwest. I mean, you could go back and look at the records. It was raining and raining and raining and raining. Now it is snowing and snowing and snowing, and look what it's doing. And they call it the Pineapple Express.
Right.
But it is definitely not going over us, only until this week. But it's not enough to save us. You know, it just like
No,
just got a little bit wet.
Exactly. You know, the chemtrails are really bad here in California, and you're right, because if they spray it over us, then it's going to float right over the Sierras and head that way.
Right.
And you're right, absolutely right. And you know, people think there's really nothing going on with these chemtrails. I was talking it over with Cheryl, and we think that there's a combination, because she was watching something on YouTube where there was this ex-military person who was very high up there, you know, very bright, a lot of medals, and it was a female, and she thought, you know, the chemtrail stuff was bogus, was BS, until she started really digging into it and found out that there are barium where she was located, barium and some other stuff going on. So she was trying to figure out what is this stuff here, and then she found out they were loading them on the airplanes, and now she was starting to freak out big time. I think there's more to it than just creating weather phenomena. I think, and this is what Shell and I have been discussing. And this is, I mean, we're going to go way out on a limb here, you guys. All right. We're going way out on conspiracy theories. So you guys get ready for this. If you guys want to turn off the knob and think, Jeff, you are just falling off and can't get back up, whatever.
Yeah, but I challenge you guys. Listen what he says. Really, don't turn it off. But only go Google it after the show. Go and research this stuff for yourself. And I mean, you might be saying right now, oh man, you guys are out there. Right. But I'm going to tell you, you'll be halfway out there after you research it.
Right. Now, what we were discussing is that, and this evolves around our DNA. Okay.
I keep mine all to myself.
Okay, this involves our DNA. And we have been noticing, a lot of people have been discussing that our DNA is changing. And everybody's DNA is changing. There is a show on TV right now that pretty much explains what we are talking about. And that show is called The Tomorrow People. Those are the kids who are now having these different powers where they can actually disappear and reappear in different areas. They can move things, connect, you know, all that type of stuff. And they say it's their DNA that's changing. I think that our DNA is changing, but they're not allowing it to change. And there is one thing that we found out that allows our DNA to change, and that is the sun. Okay, the sun is allowing us for the DNA to change. It's also involving the third eye right here in our forehead. I believe they are trying to block that from happening, because if our DNA changes and we open up and find out what really is going on, there's going to be a huge revolution. And I think that's what these chemtrails are doing. I think this is, I believe, because, you know, the solar flares, for example, I believe the solar flares are not a bad thing. They're trying to block the solar flares from hitting us. And by doing that, is they're laying out these chemtrails with the barium to project the solar flare from getting us, because I think the sun has something to do with changing our DNA. I really believe that.
It's funny you say that, because I was reading some stuff. Now, it's been a while, maybe a couple of years. Only Jason Martell from Ancient Aliens has a theory about this 36,000 year cycle where we're like an elliptical, we're a dual sun thing, and we're in elliptical orbit. And when the two suns are really far away, the two solar systems, that's the dark ages. Okay, and that's the time when everything's dark and everybody's stupid. Dumb completely. But as they move closer, it turns into like the golden age, and then everybody, all these things wake up inside of everybody. And from what I read, I'm pretty sure he thinks we're on that wake up
cycle.
Yeah, and we'll have this golden age, and it'll get more and more, and then it'll peak, and then we'll start going back to the dark ages again on this 36,000 year cycle.
Okay.
But I mean that would go right along with what you're kind of talking about, because it's the sun is what he's talking about.
Is the sun? Okay. The sun has been actually just this past year, at the end of last year, was really strong, shooting out these solar flares like, oh my God, left and right. And I notice, guys, because that's what I do, is I notice these things, that when I get alerts from my sources telling me that a solar flare, certain class solar flare has just erupted and it will hit Earth within 2 days or within a day and a half. Chemtrails. Within a day and a half, you go outside, boom, chemtrails, boom, all over the place, because that's what they're doing. Now, they're saying that, they're not saying anything. They could be saying that, the chemtrails are blocking the solar flare from getting the grid to go down. All right. But I think it's way more than that. Now, how many families out there who has had kids, and when these kids are starting to talk, we're talking 1, 2 years old, I don't know how old, that a lot of these kids can see things that we can't. I mean, how many of your kids, my son Christian, before he turned 6, he was always telling us he could see other children around him or different things that we could not see. And I think that what they are feeding us more, I'm talking about like fluoride, and my wife is really into the not the Monsanto stuff, but the organic stuff, right? I believe that everybody's born with that third eye open, but our governments of the world know that if that third eye stays open after a certain age, there's no way it will be able to close. Or if it stays open forever, then you will be able to do stuff that they don't want you to do. Because there are people on this earth right now who have these special powers, who can see things, who can do things, who can, but what happens, I believe, is that people think they're crazy, and they put them into, you know what I'm saying? They think and put them in white jackets, and they put them away forever. And I think that's what's happening. All these people that you think are crazy are not crazy. They just have those special powers, and the government are grabbing these people and giving them drugs,
drugging them up.
Well, that's what they're doing with the kids already. Like, if your kid's like overexcited, quotation marks, they're drugging them up.
Exactly.
Like, no.
It's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, they'll even recommend it. The school will.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Man, your kid's out of control." We have a granddaughter right now who's, I think she's like in the first grade, but testing like off the chart, right? But they call her disruptive because in the class she's so advanced from everyone that it's boring. So she doesn't pay attention, right? So she's disrupting the class. So she's more getting labeled disruptive than she is advanced. That she's advanced. Yeah.
So they give her like, what is that, Xanax or
Ritalin
or
whatever
to calm them down. And I think
my daughter won't give it to her, but still, it's like, what do you? they really should have a program for these kids that's advanced instead of.
How old is the kid?
She's like 6.
6. You imagine if is it your daughter or your?
Well, who my daughter's daughter.
Okay, so you imagine if your daughter, when bringing this baby up, did not feed her any GMO stuff, just pure organic stuff. At 6 years old, this kid would probably be off the charts and doing things that would be blowing your family away right now.
Well, I've been reading about this, what you're talking about, and because of your wife, she's, I mean, she gets you thinking. You know what I mean?
Right, she hold on. Let me see if she's yelling over there. Yay! Okay, there you go. Okay.
No, but she'll say things and get you thinking, and so you research it, and so what I found, and it was just posted. Well, it was kind of funny because Elizabeth, she posts a lot of stuff on your wall and my wall, and I had just read it maybe 3 days prior, and then she posted this thing up with this big long story, and I read it anyways because it was about the pineal gland. But only they were saying that when you turn to the age of like from a kid to a teen, what they call that, adolescence, or when your reproductive system starts kicking in, the whole pineal gland thing changes, and that's when that part shuts down, and then the other, testosterones and stuff like that start picking up,
right?
And then that kind of like closes that down, and that's how. And they didn't say anything about GMOs or anything, that I could find. But I did find for us, when you get older, and then you're kind of beyond that, looking for the mate thing, and all that kind of stuff,
right?
Then you can. There's things you could do to open it, like what she says, and it has a lot to do with fluoride and all that stuff.
The main ingredient I think that they're really putting in our bodies is the fluoride.
Right.
If anybody doesn't know what fluoride is, go Google it. It's a very dangerous substance, chemical that can kill you. Look on the bottle or the tube of a toothpaste. It says if swallowed.
That's what it says.
Get to a medical attention immediately. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? It says that if you were to eat a quarter tube of toothpaste, it would probably put you in a coma.
Really?
It's that serious of a chemical. All right, and you're putting it in your mouth, and they are putting it in drinking water. All right, you guys. Why would they now they're telling you, well, it's to help your teeth. No, it's not what it is for, guys. It's to dumb you up, to close that pineal gland. It's to make you zombies, to follow what they want you to know, and basically to be their slaves. All right. You imagine and that's why, Monsanto is doing what they're doing. They're trying to get rid of this organic stuff. I mean, they're trying to really confiscate the world market as far as food goes, because it's all part of the NWO. They want to keep us underneath their wing, so we don't know what's really going on. And it all starts off with fluoride. And I would recommend, really, guys, that if you guys are going to have a newborn baby here pretty soon, don't give them fluoride drops or fluoride pills. Don't use fluoride toothpaste anymore, guys. Fluoride does absolutely nothing to prevent cavities. It's really what you eat that causes the cavities. All right, the Pepsi, the Coke, the sugar, the donuts,
That's not good for you either, really, at all.
Well,
even though I love it.
And I love it too. I'm a Pepsi-holic. My wife said, you're killing yourself. You are killing yourself. I'm going, I know, but it's already done with. If I was a kid and I, if I had known what I know now, then I would have started off and not taking the fluoride, not drinking the sodas. But
heck, I remember when I was a kid is when they started adding the fluoride in the water.
Yeah.
I remember when they did it, and it was all the big thing. That they had dentists come on TV and say, "Oh yeah, it's going to be good for your teeth," and then they started putting the fluoride in the water, and I remember that.
So is there any hope for like somebody my age who's 21?
You're done.
Oh. Well, no, because I'm still.
Well, I mean,
you could probably change your diet right now.
Okay, now
there's filters you can get.
You really want to go there, huh?
No, I'm just.
You really
want to
go there.
Myself.
Well, okay. Now you have a gift.
If you want to call it.
Okay. You imagine now, for some reason, that gift is stuck in a certain position. I believe that your gift is not totally developed yet, and when I mean developed, it's because of all the stuff you've been eating and drinking since you've been a little kid. But for some reason, it's turned on a little bit. That switched. The gift that we all have, yours is turned on a little bit, and that's where you're set right now. You imagine if you if you just said, okay, that's it, I am going totally organic and I am not going to eat or drink or Pepsi donuts, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff, eventually you clean your system. And because I believe that switch that's turned on, it might even turn on even more.
See, I don't know. I think you have two stages because I agree with yours because if you are what you eat, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start fresh as a little kid and your parents help you out, then you're good. But like, from my stance, I didn't have mine at the very beginning. This came with it. So maybe I'm stuck.
Well, I think, okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I think, I know what you're saying.
It's hard because maybe people have already had it, or maybe it could have been off and then it turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it could go either way.
Right. But I think
maybe you wouldn't even been able to see.
But see, right now you're telling me
didn't turn on.
Yeah, you're telling me right now though you can see things still.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then it's turned on. It's turned on a little bit, and you imagine if it got turned on. Like right now, it's probably at 10%, maybe.
No.
You think it's more than that?
Well, hearing.
Oh, you got hearing too? Okay, then you're probably at about 25%.
That's it.
I'm thinking. You
imagine what 100% would be?
I don't know if I want to.
You could probably go die and.
Oh.
No, I mean, who knows what these powers are? Look at the show tomorrow, people. All right, they can do some crazy stuff, man. Seriously, they can, and I believe.
I saw something on
but
TV.
how much of that is fabricated?
Well,
not a lot of it.
Not a lot of it.
When you go online, they were showing this little girl that was like 6, I think it was, or 5, and she was looking at flowers, and she just passed her hand over the flowers, and they all budded open, just like that.
Now,
they have all these powers like that.
Now, as a matter of fact, another show, Revolution. Okay, a couple of these people on that show, and they're using nanotechnology, but just by thinking, they can do whatever. I mean, setting guys on fire.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by telekinesis and able to move objects with your mind.
So were they like warning us whenever they did that show Hero? Remember that show? Hero. And the one guy was going around and taking everybody's brain so that he could steal their power so that he would have all the different gifts.
There's actually a few shows that will kind of lead on to that. Like, I'm stuck watching Angel. I know it's an old show, Buffy and stuff like that. There's a creature that will go around and basically eat the part of the person that has that power.
Yeah, I think in Hero they were like eating the brain, and each one had a different thing. Like one guy could stop time, and this one guy figured it out, and he had a power, but he would just use his finger and cut their top of their head off, and then take their brain.
That's gross.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, like what we're talking about, though, is those kind of powers, though.
Right.
And these shows are like 5 or 6 years old.
But there are shows now, like I said, okay, the Tomorrow People Revolution. I know there's a couple of other ones that are, I just can't think of them right off the bat, but they all have to do with powers. And I've always said, you guys, what you are now watching on television, there's a lot of realism, isn't it? Real. A lot of that stuff is real. What's really going on in our world. But why are they, trying to tell us about this stuff? I don't know. I don't get it. You would think that they'd want to keep all this stuff secret. But people like us are catching on,
They
and
can't keep it secret.
I don't know. But I always thought too that Hollywood is definitely controlled by the NWO, and
just like the media.
they're only allowed to talk about certain subjects. But here you have, like on the CW, where you have all those really cool shows that my wife watches, all of them, and they all have to do with special powers and gifts, and that's just like everybody watches those shows. Those they're like the number one shows on TV right now, and they're continually putting new ones on. I mean, there's more coming out. I mean, they're just killing on those shows. I don't know. I just think that they're dumbing us. And they've been doing this for a long time, and they're starting off with the kids because at 8 years old, my son Christian stopped. Well, actually, he says he still sees them. I don't know if I believe that or not anymore. I think it's just, I don't know. I really don't know. But you know what? Let me take that back, because at 6 and 7 years old, Cheryl stopped giving him fluoride. We don't use fluoride in this house anymore as of 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He really doesn't drink that much soda or caffeine. So he can still see some, spirits or whatever he says he sees. And maybe that's the reason why he still sees them, is because we stopped giving him the fluoride and all the bad stuff, and trying to, continually give him the good stuff. I'm the worst. I go out and buy McDonald's, and I go buy me and Ed's and pizza. I mean, come on, you have to have that stuff. I mean, so, I kind of I place the blame on myself. But I mean, come on, if my son wants McDonald's and chicken nuggets, I'm going to go get him some chicken nuggets. How can you say no?
I eat chicken nuggets.
Okay, how can you say no, right? So, if you were in a town in Africa, or somewhere where you didn't have this stuff, I believe, you went to Africa and you saw stuff, Alan, that blows your mind. Well, there's a lot of voodoo and a lot of things going on out there. They're not familiar with fluoride. They're not familiar with all this kind of stuff. So a lot of these people out there might be able to, have those.
Let me play devil's advocate here. You're saying they're not used to the fluoride. Well, in most of those cases, they're not used to food at all.
Right.
Lack of food, lack of clean water. It's gonna mess with your head a little bit. So you kind of go either way with this.
But
I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying the little villages and stuff. Well, because of urbanization, they're cutting away at their land. So
and also too, they don't have the proper nutrition. Is what you're saying, the vitamins and stuff. So that could also dumb them down, and not having the proper vitamins and minerals that you really need.
They don't have schools either.
Yeah. So
I mean, they do, but
not like
if you went in the school, it's like everybody, all ages, in one little room, and they're all learning ABC and stuff.
Right.
So it isn't like how our schools are structured.
Well, another thing too, you mentioned the vitamins. Well, how do we know for sure what's our proper intake of vitamins? We say, well, doctors say, 100% of vitamin A.
Thank you for mentioning that, because Sheila and I were talking about the sun again.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D. There is so much vitamin D in the sun that you really don't have to drink milk.
Right, yeah. Okay,
did everybody know that? You probably had no idea about that, everybody who's listening to right now. The sun, the rays in the sun on our skin, it creates vitamin D for our bones and our nutrition. But what does our government say? To stay out of the sun, you'll get sunburn, you can get skin cancer. Then they go and make this sunblock. Now, she found in most of these sunblocks, there's a certain chemical or chemicals that actually is bad for you. And you're putting it on your skin, and your skin absorbs it. All right? So, again, I work out in the sun all the time. I don't put sunblock on, and I hardly ever – I might get sick one time a year for me. That's it. Okay, I haven't got the flu, thank God. Knock on wood. Yeah, and I haven't got the flu. But then again, I've stopped taking fluoride. I don't use fluoride toothpaste anymore. And I'm out in the sun all the time, guys. I don't drink milk. And I believe, and also too, we were reading that vitamin D helps prevent the colds, flu, all that. I mean, a lot of vitamin D, but you can't take too much vitamin D because it's also bad for you. Okay, and that's where we think that, the government again is messing with us. They're saying, the sun is very bad for you guys. Well, I don't think that's the case. I think it's actually good for us, and they're trying to keep that sun rays away from us with the chemtrails and all that kind of stuff. I really do. Well, we constantly talk about this here at the house, and it's making sense to us. It's actually making sense to us. And, you guys need to go and research, vitamin D, the sun.
Go research.
Out. Go check it. All the stuff I just told you guys is absolutely fact. All right? But you're not going to hear it from doctors. You're not going to hear it from the media. I mean, they're not going to tell you all that. You have to go and read it for yourself.
I think some of the doctors are waking up.
Yeah.
My doctor is pretty good. I mean, he'll talk about things that, different ways to use medication than normal, how it's supposed to be taken. We talked about the sun. Mm-hmm. Like for me, it's good for your nerve diseases. Like if you have peripheral neuropathy, from diabetes or damage to a nerve or something like that, sitting in the sun is good for you. And then there's a type of vitamin D. It's like not vitamin D you get from milk, but you can buy it, and it's good for the nerves. But the sun's the absolute best. And he's like, go out, sit in the sun. Don't put the stuff on, right. The blocker. Don't put it on because then you don't absorb any of the D.
Right. Exactly right.
But a lot of doctors are starting to be more forward thinking like that, and I think it's because they're not sitting around letting things be told to them anymore. They're really starting to check things out.
Well, they're fed up too. Look at all the crap that they have to go through because they're doctors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're told. That's what I mean. Is like it's repetitive. Sometimes school is bad for people, I think, because when you get in there, they repetitively hammer you with these ideals.
Cheryl.
And then when you come out brainwashed how they want you to think in society.
Right.
And then you start waking up, like Cheryl's waking up, and she's actually starting to go against the grain of what she all learned in that school thing set up.
Mm-hmm. And there are other shows, not really going away from what we're talking about, the vitamins and the minerals and the sun, but like shows like America Unearthed. What we were taught in schools is totally wrong about other lives that have been here, the pyramids, the ancient ruins, something had to have made those way back in the days when there was no tools like we have now. Even the tools that we have now can't do what they did back thousands and thousands of years ago. By moving these 20-ton, boulders or square rocks into place, maybe they used their brain power back then, and that's how they levitated all these, and so I think, people are talking about Nibiru and Planet X and all that, was it 3,600 years? Every 3,600 years? That's what you were just saying a little while ago.
Right.
And I am looking at some videos and stuff, and they say, that planet it's out there. And this is also, I think, connecting to, I'm going to go back to that crop circle that just happened out here near the Bay Area. I still think that crop circle was not a gimmick. To this day, I still think that was placed there by something else. And it has to do with that chip. That chip is really important that this company, the company, NVIDIA has just come out with. I think that chip there's something about that chip, guy. I'm serious. There's something about that chip that the people up there or whatever up there is trying to tell us about that chip.
Well, you notice that the hype was like a week, however long that crop circle was.
Right.
You haven't heard nothing
completely
about
that.
it.
And again,
in the news or anything.
And again, it's only because they came out and said, "Yep, we did it."
Yeah.
Then
right, yeah.
all it takes is one person to say it was us. Then everybody's going to drop it. All right, everybody is going to drop it. Like for example, and this has nothing to do. Matter of fact, I'm going on 180 here. The opening ceremonies. There was you know how Putin and Russia are totally against gays and all that. I mean, totally.
Yeah.
Well, there is this group that came out back in the early 2000s, I believe. They're the two female duo, and they're called Tattoo, T-A-T-U, and they're from Russia. And when they first came out, they were very, well, to me, they were lesbians. Total big time lesbians, all right? And you can tell they were always kissing. They were two young girls. And I've always thought that. And look, that's what they presented themselves as. Well, they played at the opening ceremonies on the Winter Olympics a couple nights ago, but you didn't hear about it. All right. And these are two girls from Russia. Well, it was funny when they had the opening ceremonies and my wife and I were watching it. And Cheryl goes, "Hey, you hear that in the background? That's Tattoo." And I'm all, "Oh my God, you're right." And it's in the background, right? And all of a sudden we started Googling, and sure enough, they're playing live, but they didn't televise it. Nobody knew about it. So about 2 hours ago, I placed it on my wall. See that? I placed it on my wall that they actually, performed. And now, but what the government of Russia is coming out and they're saying is, "Oh no, it was just a put on. It was just a gimmick back then, blah, blah, blah." And then everybody, including people who watch me, says they're not lesbians. I mean, it was just a put on. It was just a gimmick. No, guys, just because Russia is saying it was just a gimmick. And see, this is what I'm getting at is somebody has to say one thing and you guys think it's a fact, it's the truth, especially the government from Russia, You guys really have to – shut up, dog. You're that dog. You really have to pay attention and do your research, all right? Just because somebody comes out and says, "No, it's this way," don't take it as fact. I'm serious. Don't take it as fact. And that's what a lot of problems with you guys out there are. You guys don't do your research, and if someone says, "No, that's not the way it goes," then you guys believe it. And you guys really need to change. Really need to change that right now because you guys are missing out on so much.
Man, the one that they're doing right now that bothers me is Fukushima.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that one. I know we've had nuclear accidents. I know when they were doing nuclear testing with bombs, Chernobyl, all this stuff. But they've dumped a lot of radiation in our world atmosphere, and we don't even know what it's done to us yet, or what it has done. But I can tell you Fukushima is not good, and it isn't over, and the world is ignoring it. Mm-hmm. And that one's going to come back and bite really hard.
It's going
to kill people.
Be expecting Godzilla to be walking up the beaches of San Francisco anytime.
Actually, that's if you go back and watch the old Godzilla movies, the original ones, that's actually what created Godzilla.
The radiation.
It was.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I mean, the deformity of on this particular island where they were testing these atomic bombs. In Japan, there was these lizards, regular iguana, large lizards, and the radiation made them into Godzilla.
That's right.
So what about the dietary, fish and stuff like that?
I've stopped. We've actually stopped eating fish here. We will not eat any more fish, only because it's the fish that we eat here is coming from the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
All right. We're talking shrimp. We're talking your tuna.
So you think it's coming? You think the radiation is all the way on our shores?
Has to be. It's been 3 years.
I actually, there are a couple of sites that I go to that I believe that the information these guys get are genuine, and millions and millions and millions of people. And these are not conspiracy websites either. Okay, we're talking major media news here. And they actually showed where there was a couple of people out on the beach in the Bay Area with their Geiger counters, and the radiation was off the frickin' hook.
Wow.
All right. And that goes with, and, fish are dying, and they're finding these, fish even the starfish, they're finding a lot of starfish are just basically dying off, and
they're gone.
Yeah.
In a lot of areas where there used to be millions of them, there's none.
I remember reading a story where there was fishermen where they would go on an annual basis, and I don't know, close to Japan, in the middle of Japan, or in the Pacific Ocean, where he said years and years ago they would see sea life plenty everywhere, fish coming out of the waters, seagulls, but now they go out there, it's quiet.
Yeah, nothing.
There's nothing. It's completely dead in the water, and that's what's happening. So I don't eat fish anymore, guys, and I think that's one of the reasons I believe Red Lobster is going out of business.
I think that too.
I didn't even connect it.
Oh, yeah. Red Lobster is going out of business. They're basically shutting all their stores down. And I think
now, is it because nobody goes in there and eats, or is it because they don't want to get a lawsuit of people coming back saying,
Either
"Hey, man,
or. I think it's
we
both.
ate that and we, my eyeball fell out or whatever."
So yeah. I mean, I think I posted that on my wall when it first came out. 2 months, 3 months ago, I placed a Red Lobster's going out of business. I wonder if it's because of the radiation in the Pacific Ocean, and people think, nah, there's no way. It's just because of the economy. Well, again, you guys have to put two and two together. Look, it's right in front of your eyes. It is. Just think. Look. Come on, guys.
Everybody has Google. All you got to do.
Well, obviously,
you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
Right. But no. But what we're saying though is take the Red Lobster, a location where you can go eat, stuff from the ocean. And then all of a sudden, you think, wait a minute, Fukushima is really bad, the fish are dying, and all of a sudden Red Lobster is going out of business? You don't think there's a correlation there?
Like me, I think it's more like that they're not catching the lobster like they used to.
Oh, maybe they can't. You're right.
The starfish are gone. Maybe the lobster are disappearing too.
There you go. They can't get the fish. Yeah.
They're still connected,
I didn't even think about. See that now. That's part I didn't think about. That they cannot bring in the lobsters to feed their stores. They're put in the stores. You're right.
Well, don't they breed lobsters in farms?
Yeah, I think they do, but it isn't 100% of the market. That I don't know if they could even fill 100% of the market like that.
I would like to know how the Bay Area is doing on Fisherman's Wharf. Yeah. I would love to see, if the crowd has, literally stopped going. Is there just that? I don't know. I would love to go down there the weekend just to see. Because, Fisherman's Wharf is a tourist attraction like crazy.
I haven't heard anything.
And maybe that's just it. Yeah. Maybe they're not telling us what's going on.
That's true.
Because it's completely quiet. So, all right. Well, there you go. Enough to talk about. Oh, man, we talked about a lot of subjects on that one. I mean, we were all over the place, guys. Sorry. But, it just, everything has, it leads to another subject, and somehow all these are correlated together. They are.
Well, where you were tying them all together is the media and the government are all keeping all these things that we just talked about away from us.
And
and then they're putting disinformation out, and the people swallow that like
I think
it's
there.
gospel,
I just think it's buried under all this, pardon my language, BS.
Yeah.
That they're making frontline news, like the whole Justin Bieber thing.
It's buried under the Justin Bieber, American Idol, Bachelor. All that is basically taking over what you really need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Tonight, The Walking Dead. That's going to be.
Is it the opening tonight? I mean,
I think so. Man,
that's a big thing to me. So let's not diss Walking Dead.
No. It's a cool show. I mean, that's a very cool show. All right. Now, as a matter of fact, since we were talking about how the government is suppressing information that last year in April 16th, to be exact. I don't know how many of you remember this, but I do, only because I work for the phone company. All right, I work for AT&T Telephone, and in April in San Jose, somebody got into a ground vault out there and cut a lot of cable. All right. And obviously, we found out about it because it makes the rounds in our in our offices and the whole 9 yards. Well, what I didn't hear, that there was also an incident right about that same time where some attackers shot up a PG&E transmission substation right in that area, and they deliberately did that on purpose to, I'm thinking, knock out the power. But supposedly they counted there over 100 bullets. Somebody literally got in there, and it was about the same time, I believe, as the ground vault incident. So here they're cutting all of the communications cable, and this really disrupted a lot of, I believe this was fiber optics in the whole 9 yards. And then from shooting this substation, luckily, they said that they were able to divert a total blackout in some locations. And what they said is that for the PG&E substation, it took them 27 days to repair that. We're talking a full month, guys. 100 bullets, a full month. All right.
So that means they were like sharpshooting.
They knew what they were doing.
They were hitting.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing. Okay. From what they're saying is this was a terrorist attack, but they're not telling us that. Now, the reason why I found out about this is somebody caught it and placed it on the Wall Street Journal, of all places. The substation, the Wall Street Journal picked that up and went with it. And it came over the news just today or last night, I believe. And that's why I'm talking about it. Again, they're not telling us what actually happened. So, there are stuff happening all the time. And I'm asking you guys just need to be aware of your surroundings. Weird stuff. Really pay attention to weird stuff in your towns, in your neighborhoods. Transformers blowing up, black vehicles seen at this location, helicopters circling. Pay attention to all that, all right? Because, you guys, I believe we're due here for a terrorist attack pretty soon, or it's going to be, I don't want to say that our government's going to do it, false flag or whatever, but I have a feeling, as a matter of fact, Rick even mentioned it, that between now and beginning of March, something major is supposed to happen. And I think he posted something like that on my wall. I have to go back and read it.
He normally doesn't post stuff like that, but he has been saying the banking thing is gonna crash.
Yeah.
And I know he follows that a lot.
Yeah, the banking system. There's something going on, and he definitely picked that up because of all the bankers that are committed suicide. And he's laughing too. I mean, come on, really? It's off the chart. These many bankers, they've either fell into something by accident or know exactly what's going to be happening, and they offed them.
You think though they would have been a little smarter about how they did it though? I mean, that many people. No,
but that's just it though. You don't see any of these bankers, or you don't see. Let's say it's 8 bankers. They're not talking about it on the news.
No. I'm saying the people that offed them, if that's what happened.
But it doesn't matter. They can off them well, okay. The way they offed them, the way we're talking about it, offed them. If they find a man hanging on a rope inside his house, the police are going to come in and they're going to say suicide.
Yeah.
Or somebody higher up went to that particular chief and said, let it go. And you let it go. No investigation. Just let it go.
No, what I'm saying, you have all these people in this short amount of time. Mm-hmm. And to us, I mean, well, yeah, it looks really bad to us because we're looking at it that way.
Right. Because this is what we do. All right. This is what we do. The media is not putting two together. they have no clue what's going on
But
out
you
there.
think other people would have seen that?
No, absolutely not.
Have you ever seen the video? There's 3 or 4 of them, and it says the news is scripted, right? And then all of a sudden, the video plays, and it'll show 100 different newscasts in 100 different locations around the United States, and they're all saying the exact same words.
Well, but this is why. I believe this is why. And at first I would have said you're right. But what happens is all the media news networks they all share the same news feed. So what happens is they have a computer and news feeds come across there all the time, constantly, and they pick and choose what they want. Okay,
that used to be my job.
Okay, there you go. So
I used to pick the stories,
news, right? So what happens is, a news feed will come with the proper wording, and they'll rip that off and say, "Let's do this story," and it's already typed out exactly how they want you to say it.
No.
No.
No, I don't know if it's like that now, but I mean, I would be, there's like a little room where all the news feeds come in, AP, Reuters, all that. And also computers where you could sit and Google things and check out the story.
Okay.
When I found, my job was to find all really the worst case things that was happening, dead people, whatever, blow up, all the worst things that I could find.
The cool stuff the media wants to tell.
Yeah. And one really neat, feel good, touchy, feely, warm story for the end. So they could all smile and go, good night. But only they wrote their own story. That all the ones I saw, they wrote, they would come in, you'd come in with a story and they're sitting there typing it for the teleprompter and everything, and they did their own teleprompter. That's why when you see that video, they each have their way of.
Well, there's a certain phrase that everybody is saying that's exactly the same as the last one. Okay, so there's a sentence that's the same as everybody. So I can see where you're coming from on that.
But what I think is there's some stories that they're compelled to do it. They have to.
They have to.
Like this is the top story of the day, and they're told by the editor or the station manager, like this one, and this one, this is going to be the one top thing, and then after that, then there's, all the other world news and this and that, they get to pick. But there is some, they get told they have to do those.
You have to.
Yeah. Even then it was like that. And usually while I'm on, finding the stories, they're typing out the ones that are compelling. They have to do they're compelled, told. And that's what I think those ones are, all those videos. And the same wording. And
the same wording. Exactly the same. And I saw the same video too. I saw it. And that's why I was going, well.
I've seen like 3 videos and all of them are the same.
Oh,
yeah.
Or that? Yeah. Oh, okay. There was other stuff I want to talk about, but
let's show those tickets, right?
I wish we could. So, all right, we got the tickets printed finally.
Yay!
All right, you guys all know we are shooting the Paranormal Central Talk show in front of a live studio audience on March the 9th, which is right around the corner, you guys. We're talking next month.
And if people want to drive from other cities, you're welcome to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now, a lot of people said, Jeff, you should charge everybody to come in. And I said, no, that's not what we're about. Okay.
We changed our mind.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Donations.
No, that would be too. No, see, and this is where I think it's going to be hard. We're giving away all the tickets. We're not going to charge anybody for them, all right? But there are about 500 and change that we're going to give away. Now, if you take these tickets, we expect you to show up, please, because this is going to be televised and this is going on national TV.
And there's another one too. They have to stay.
Yeah. You have to
through
stay
the whole thing.
Now, it's not going to be that long, guys. It's not going to be boring. You're going to have a good time. We're going to take a lunch break. You can go get something to eat, come back. I believe the theater is going to be selling food too if you want to eat there, or you can go around the corner,
Go
Club
get
One.
McDonald's.
Yeah, or you can come back or whatever. But we're asking you to stay, and the reason being is that it would look pretty dumb that if half the audience left at noon or 1 or 2 o'clock, and all of a sudden we're filming for an episode, and all of a sudden a lot of the seats are missing. Mm-hmm. But this is why we're giving away 500. The seating, there is 500. If for some reason a lot of people have to leave, and let's say 100 people leave, well, I don't think 100 people are going to make a big difference.
No.
There's going to be about maybe 3 rows or 4 rows at the very top that are going to be vacant. Well, then we'll bring the lighting down, and the cameras will only get the people on the first 75 or 100 rows or whatever. So we're going to make it happen. It's going to be okay. But again, if you take these tickets, we really would love for you to stay the whole time. We're asking people to get in there at 9:30. We're going to start filming right a little around after 10. Hopefully maybe 2 episodes or 1 episode before lunch, and then we're going to take a break and then come back afterwards and do the 3 or 4 episodes. Each episode is 44 minutes, so we're hoping it's going to take about an hour to do each episode.
And one thing, we're shooting it like it's live. Okay, so that means we start the show, and then we shoot it like it's live. We take the breaks,
for make-believe commercials.
Like a commercial,
right?
But when it's over, when we get done at the end of 44 minutes, we're done with that show. It isn't like we're going to sit there and retake. Right. So it won't be boring,
right?
At all.
So we're going to have 4 to 5 episodes, and each episode is going to have totally new information, new
guests,
we're going to be doing different things, and that's the way it's the way we're going to do it. Okay, now how to give away these tickets, where to set up to give away these tickets.
Man, that's a good
one. I think what we're going to do is we're going to, start giving them away next Sunday.
Okay.
And I think what we need to do is,
but everybody has to remember, everybody that gets a ticket, they have to show up.
Now, this is what we're going to do.
No ordering 50 tickets for your family and then don't come.
This is what we're going to do. We are going to, these tickets are numbered. All right. So if you show up, say I want 20, well, we're going to take the number of tickets that you get, and we're going to get your name and your phone number. Okay. Okay. Because if you don't show up, I'm going to slap you. No. So that's what we're going to do. And the reason why these tickets are numbered is because we're going to be giving away prizes during the whole day.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Because you're going to keep the major part of the ticket, and we're going to take the stub with the number on it. And the ticket actually
best prize is going to be at the end.
The best prizes are going to be at the end. So so obviously it sticking out to the very end would be ludicrous. I mean, it would be viable for you to do so because you get a chance to win some cool stuff.
Yeah.
We've already lined up some people to be on there. We have a couple of cool guests that you've seen on TV that are going to be showing up. So it's going to be kind of cool. Eventually when we do get picked up and there's a big budget and, you have major money behind you, then you're going to get the big stars and the big rock bands. And then, that's when it's going to get really exciting.
If there's anybody listening to us that is a TV star right now.
Oh, yeah. I know. I didn't thought about that. Art Bell.
Art Bell. You might want to be on this show.
Art Bell.
It would be a good time to contact
Art Bell.
Yeah.
Oh, did I mention Art Bell?
We have a couple of spots that Art Bell might fit in.
Art Bell.
Art Bell.
Art Bell. Oh, wait. Art Bell. Okay, no more. But yeah, I mean, if you're an actor or, we have some slots open still for the March 9th. And this is going to go national. I guarantee it's going to go national. Our freaking pilot went national, you guys. All right. That went national. That got put into the availability data system for all the stations in the United States to pick it up and run with it. So, we have some important people that are going to show up that day. And
the people that did that are the ones that told us to do like 4 or 5 more.
Yeah, you know what? You guys really need to do some more.
That's exactly what they told us to do. And that's what we're doing.
And that's what we're doing, only because I believe now that the big wigs are now aware of what we can do and what we're going to be doing. For those who saw the pilot, it's not going to be, the setup is going to be totally different. All right. So that's all I'm going to say. If you really want to see it, come on by. Now, what we're going to let you do is during the actual taping of the show, we're going to allow people during, our breaks and commercial breaks and stuff like that to take photographs from your seats, because I want this to go viral on Facebook.
Come meet the team, guys.
I want this to go.
Really, yeah.
I want this to go viral on Facebook. So I want you guys to start taking pictures like crazy. We'll come up, take pictures with you. I mean, I want it to go viral. I want everybody in the world to go, Paranormal Central are shooting right now, the talk show, and we're here. Check it out. All right? Because, this is going to be cool. I want you guys to have fun with it, and we're all going to have a blast. So that's the main part. We are going to be selling shirts. The guy is still going to be setting up shop there in the lobby and printing the shirts actually on the spot, whichever one you want. I think he's coming up with some cool designs. He said we have to have a meeting with him, but that's still going to happen. So
maybe we could get some and then throw them at the audience.
That's absolutely,
that's most definitely, yeah.
Okay,
and
I can use my softball arm.
Oh yeah, all right.
We're gonna have fights and up in there, people black eyes and stuff.
Well, every time there's a break or a dead time,
just we'll
have something going on,
Well,
so
you got to remember, we're going to have
there.
everybody's ticket stub, so you got to pick one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's that's what we're going to be using. I don't know about throwing shirts out there, because you got to have people like and black eyes and bloody noses, but we're going to have ticket stubs, so we're going to have all kinds of stuff to give away, and again, it's going to be a fun time. You guys are going to have fun. For all those who have never been to a taping of a talk show. Well, this is, my first as well. Actually, the pilot was, so I got, basically the gist of things and how it's going to run. But there you go.
We're going to have fun. He's going to be like Oprah. He's going to give stuff away.
Oprah and Ellen. And at the very end, we're going to give a car.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't say that.
Just kidding. Just kidding. All right.
We're giving away pictures of a car.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. 12 noon next Sunday. 12 o'clock noon next Sunday. Outside of the Crest Theater. We're setting up shop. You come by and pick up your tickets. Everybody get that? For those who are out of the state, starting tonight right after the show, and if you're willing to drive down from another city, Sacramento or LA or Utah or Colorado, you want to fly in, then you're going to call me on my 24-hour hotline at area code 559-287-8367. Once again, 559-287-8367. If you really want to come and you want to drive in, by all means, I want you here. Call me and I will reserve some tickets for you, and you can pick them up at will call the day of the showing or the day of the videotaping. But if you're here in the Valley, we're going to start giving away the tickets next Sunday, 12 o'clock, outside of the Crest Theater, right underneath the marquee. Thank you. Right there. We're going to set up shop there, and we're going to be giving away all the tickets. We're going to set some tickets away. Actually, we're actually keeping a lot of tickets aside for family, friends, the band, and I think 104.1, I think they want to give tickets on the radio station, if I'm not mistaken, so we need to give some tickets to them too. So again, I will post it on Facebook as soon as we're done here, and it's going to be at the Crest Theater. And let me give you an address. Hold on.
You could also do like Facebook questionnaires, and whoever comes up with the right answer, that would be cool.
Okay. The address is 1170 Broadway Plaza, Fresno, California. And for those who don't know where the Crest Theater is, If you're familiar with downtown on the Van Ness Boulevard, you know where Club One and Holiday Inn is, right there on Van Ness between Tulare and Fresno. The Crest Theater is on the northwest corner of that particular block.
Yeah, it's just down. You go down and cross the Fresno Fulton Mall, and
yes,
it's going down towards Chick-Chansey Park, down that road. Really,
yeah. So
it's about a block away.
The Crest Theater again this Sunday, and
you could Google that, and you could Google it and do a Google map.
Cheryl wants me to give away the ambulance.
Oh no! Sorry, Cheryl. We're keeping that.
That would be funny.
That would be funny. So, okay. So there you go. That's it. We just made an announcement of the giving away the tickets free. We're not charging. Next Sunday at 12 o'clock noon West Coast time at the Crest Theater in downtown Fresno. Show up there. Start lining up. If you want to start lining up early, go for it. And ask us how many tickets you want. We will give them to you. Please show up the day of the filming. I would really appreciate it. And you know, if you get a bunch of tickets, don't start selling them to people either. Don't start scalping them. That would be cold.
And you know, it might be real hard for little kids too.
Thank you. We recommend. You know, obviously this show is for all ages. But it's going to be a long day, and if you have kids who really don't want to sit down for 6 hours, then this is not the thing for them. I would rather have them watch it on television. So, you know, think about that before you grab a ticket for your child or teenager, because teenagers, you know, obviously sometimes they don't like to sit for a long period of time.
Unless they're into that stuff.
Unless they're into the stuff, okay.
Well, the topics are going to be good.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. Yeah. I guarantee that.
You know, it's not just doing the shooting. It's not just shooting. It's also a show, guys. There's going to be cool props. You know, it's going to be really cool looking in there. Prizes. And you get to meet us. Big freaking deal. But there's also going to be maybe one or two people who you have seen in the business of paranormal that you would want to maybe take a picture with, get an autograph. That's going to be there too as well.
Yeah, and they've been on all kinds of channels.
Yeah. So just take that into consideration too. So, all right. Oh, shoot.
And then don't forget, if anybody's out there listening that wants to be on the show.
Yes, actor. And let us, please give me a call or email me at sangerparanormal@aol.com. Also, I sent out all of the winners, the books and posters and all that. And one came back, and his name is Jeff Bowers. Your book came back. Either we wrote down your address wrong or something happened. Can you please email me your correct address, Jeff Bowers, at sangerparanormal@aol.com, so I can get this book back out to you. It just came a couple of days ago. Let's look at the package. It's all messed up, but the book is still in good condition. Yeah. So make that. So make sure you call us, Jeff, or send us an email with your address so I can get this out to you. What else?
I'll message him on Facebook if my computer works.
So, got 1 minute to go. So, okay, that's it. We're going to call it a show. Thank you very much for showing up tonight, you guys. I really appreciate it.
You guys are great.
And next time we'll have live stream going so you can watch our ugly mugs if you wish.
And I sure hope we do.
For Jeff and Ellen and Emerald, we thank you very much from Paranormal Central. And we shall see you next noontime at the Crest Theater if you want to come to our show. Peace out, everybody.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas, broadcasting worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and on artbell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. And we hope you witness something you cannot explain.
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize we're not alone. Open your eyes. memory